I would say gas. In that two segments, especially the VLGCS are always in demand. The very large gas carriers was LPG. Second one would be LNG. It's the fastest growing segment. And you find, with respect to new investments, you will find a lot of movement and dynamism in that market. Krishnan, based in Dubai, been in the industry last 40 years, currently working with Transworld and also the international vice chair of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers.
How does a ship make money?
Well, that's a commercial part of it because the ships moves cargoes. Cargoes are traded around the world. Somebody who wants to move cargo from point A to point B needs a ship, and therefore, and it's a dynamic market. So there are two different kinds of market where it's a fixed pricing, regular schedules like the liner. But when it comes to the tramp or chartering market, it's purely market driven, based on supply and demand of tonnage and what's happening in the new building sector, and that's what the traders determine the freight.
Does a ship owner lose his money when the ship sinks?
Not exactly, just similar to what happens if in an unfortunate event, if your car gets into an accident and it's a complete or declared as a constructive total loss, you get paid by the insurance. The same thing happens in ships. Of course, depending upon what type of incident, where it happened, how it happened, different types of liabilities applies.
Would you buy a second-hand ship or a new ship?
Well, there are many owners, and I work for one of them where our primary asset class is all based on second-hand, apart from a couple of new buildings which we did in the past. That's quite a norm in the industry.
Would you rather buy a stock in a shipping company or be a fractional owner of a ship?
I would do both because it's two different kinds of ownership, and from a risk management point of view, on to spread the risk, you should do both.
Name one commodity which is traded and no one talks about it.
I was about to say LNG, but LNG is now getting traded very widely. Earlier, it was not the case. It was a captive requirement, but it is, you'll find it much more in the open market in terms of trade.
In this current shipping cycle, you would bet on like which ship? Is it a bulk carrier or a gas tanker, crude oil tanker?
I would say gas. In that two segments, especially the VLGCs are always in demand. The very large gas carriers was LPG. Second one would be LNG. It's the fastest growing segment. And you find, with respect to new investments, you will find a lot of movement and dynamism in that market.
Three things you must check before buying a vessel.
The change of ownership and class, how many times class hopping has happened, and of course the current conditional surveys. Age, because it's not always true that an old ship is a bad ship, but however there are regimes with respect to different countries, different territories, or different charterers would have their restrictions, and therefore age also should be a criteria looking at the overall portfolio.